Welcome to the Legends in English, a channel where you can improve your English learning and listening practice while discovering the lives of great leaders. Today, we will talk about Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, also known as the Iron Man of India. He was one of the most respected freedom fighters and the first Deputy Prime Minister of India. Patel played a key role in uniting more than 500 princely states into one nation. His courage, leadership, and vision helped shape modern India. Let us now learn about his inspiring life story. Early life and struggles. He was called the Iron Man of India. He was called the man who united a broken nation. He was called the silent builder of modern India. This was Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. When India was struggling, when freedom was not yet won, when people were divided into pieces, he became the one who tied them together. Not with weapons. Not with money. But with iron courage, strong will, and unshakable faith in unity. Patel was not a man who loved big speeches. He was not a man who wanted name or fame. He was a man of action. He spoke less, but when he spoke, it was truth. He lived simple, but his simplicity carried power. He stood firm, like a mountain, unshaken, unbroken. Today, when we remember the freedom struggle, we talk about Gandhi, Nehru, Bhagat Singh, Subhas Chandra Bose. But behind all of them, working silently yet strongly, was Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. He was the man who united 562 princely states into one India. Without him, there would not have been the India we know today. His life was not easy. He came from an ordinary family. He faced poverty. He faced disease. He faced loss. But he turned every struggle into strength. He turned every pain into power. This is the story of Vallabhbhai Patel, the farmer's son who became the Iron Man of India. A story of courage. A story of sacrifice. A story of unity. A story that inspires us even today. Vallabhbhai Patel was born on October 31, 1875, in a small village called Nadayad, in Gujarat. His father, Yahavarbhai Patel, was a farmer. His mother, Ladbai, was a simple woman with deep faith and strong values. The family was poor. They lived in a mud house. They worked hard in the fields. Vallabhbhai grew up in this atmosphere of simplicity, discipline, and hard work. From childhood, he was strong in body and mind. He loved to play with friends, to climb trees, to fight small battles in the playground. People said he looked tough, but behind that toughness was a heart full of kindness. Education was not easy. There were no modern schools, no comfort, no luxury. But Vallabhbhai was determined. He studied with borrowed books. He studied under dim lamps. Sometimes, he even studied in the fields while looking after cattle. He had a sharp mind. He was good in mathematics. He was fearless in behavior. But poverty always stood like a wall in front of him. There is a famous story. Once, when Vallabhbhai was young, he fell very sick. The disease was so serious that people thought he would not survive. Even his family started losing hope. But Vallabhbhai, lying on the bed, said firmly, "I will not die now. I have great work to do." This was not just a child's stubbornness. This was destiny speaking through him. He recovered. He survived. And he grew up stronger, sharper, more determined. Life was not soft with him. He saw poverty. He saw suffering. He saw injustice around him. But instead of complaining, he made a decision: one day, I will rise. One day, I will fight. One day, I will make a difference. Failures and challenges. Turning points in Patel's life. Every great man's life has moments that change his path forever. For Vallabhbhai Patel, such turning points came again and again. He was a bright boy, but poverty held him back. He completed his early schooling in Gujarat, but higher studies seemed impossible. His family could not afford it. Still, Patel never gave up. He dreamt of becoming something bigger, something beyond the narrow limits of his village. There was another important quality in him: practical wisdom. Where others only dreamed, Patel acted. Where others feared, Patel moved forward. He first worked as a pleader, a type of local lawyer. His sharp arguments, fearless attitude, and sense of justice soon made him respected in courts. People started calling him a man who can solve any case, a man who never bends in front of wrong. But Vallabhbhai wanted more. He wanted to study law in England. This was not easy. Money was a problem. Travel was a problem. Society was a problem. But Patel's determination was stronger than all. He saved money patiently. He waited for years. Finally, in 1910, at the age of 35, he went to London to study at the Middle Temple Inn. This was a turning point. From a poor farmer's son in Gujarat, to a student in London's Grand Law College. It was a journey of courage. In London, Patel worked very hard. He completed a 36-month course in just 30 months. He passed with flying colors. He became a barrister. This was the rise of Vallabhbhai Patel, the lawyer who would one day fight not only for clients but for the whole nation. But life was never smooth for Patel. Success came with struggle. When he returned to India, he started his law practice in Ahmedabad. He became one of the most successful lawyers of his time. Yet, despite wealth and fame, he felt something was missing. The nation was in chains. The British ruled with cruelty. People were suffering. And then came the biggest turning point. In 1917, Patel met Mahatma Gandhi. Patel heard Gandhi's call for truth, nonviolence, and freedom. Patel was deeply moved. He decided, from today, my life is not only mine. It belongs to my country. He left his comfortable lawyer's life. He wore khadi. He joined the freedom struggle. This was not easy. He had to sacrifice money, comfort, and even his family's happiness. But Patel never looked back. Personal loss. Life tested him even harder. In 1909, once, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel was arguing an important case in court. While he was busy with the case, a messenger came with sad news. His wife, Yahavarba, who was very ill, had passed away in the hospital. The messenger gave Patel the message quietly in the courtroom. Patel read it, folded the paper, and calmly put it in his pocket. Without showing his sorrow, he continued to argue the case with full focus until the end. Only after the case was finished, Patel informed others about his wife's death and left the court. This story shows Patel's extraordinary discipline, sense of duty, and inner strength. Even in the moment of personal tragedy, he did not let emotions disturb his responsibility as a lawyer. At that time Patel was just 34 years old. He was left alone, with 2 small children. He was heartbroken. Yet, he did not marry again. He raised his children with love and discipline, while also giving his life to the nation. His pain became his strength. His loss became his courage. He became even more determined. I will not waste my life in sorrow. I will dedicate it to the service of India. Struggles in the freedom movement. As a leader, Patel faced many challenges. He led the Kheda Satyagraha, 1918, where farmers refused to pay tax due to crop failure. Patel stood with them, fearless before the British. Finally, the government had to suspend taxes. He led the Bardoli Satyagraha, 1928. When the British increased taxes by 30%, Patel organized farmers into unity and nonviolent resistance. The British had to bow down. From then, people gave him the title, Sardar, the leader. These struggles were not easy. He was arrested many times. He lived with the risk of jail and punishment. He gave up his lawyer's earnings, his luxuries, his peaceful family life. But he gained something greater: the trust of the people. Ordinary farmers, poor villagers, men and women all started seeing him as their protector. Patel's message was clear. Stand united. Fear none. Fight for your rights with courage and discipline. The turning points of his life. Life gives everyone moments of choice. Moments that change everything. For Vallabhbhai Patel, these turning points made him not just a lawyer, but the Iron Man of India. Patel was ambitious. He wanted to study further. He wanted to go to England and become a barrister. But life was not easy. When the chance came, Patel was ready to sail. But destiny had another test. His elder brother, Vallabhbhai Patel, also wished to go to England. The family could only send one. And here, Vallabhbhai showed his greatness. He stepped back. He gave his savings, his chance, his dream, to his elder brother. He smiled and said, "You go first. I will wait." This sacrifice showed what Patel truly was, a man who put duty and respect above self-interest. Years later, when his turn came, he finally went to London. The London years. In England, Vallabhbhai Patel studied law at Middle Temple. He was older than most students, yet more focused, more disciplined. He completed his course in just 2 years instead of 3. He ranked first in his class. London saw a simple man in plain clothes, quiet in manner, but strong in will. No parties. No distractions. Only study, only discipline. When he returned to India in 1913, he came not just as a lawyer but as a man with a new vision. A man who would fight not only in courts, but also in the hearts of people. Meeting Mahatma Gandhi. The most powerful turning point came in 1917. That year, Patel met Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhi was leading the movement against injustice, preaching nonviolence, and asking educated men to join India's struggle. At first, Patel was not impressed. He was practical, not idealistic. He loved good suits, modern lifestyle, and cricket. Gandhi's simple clothes and spinning wheel did not attract him. But when Patel saw Gandhi's courage, his honesty, his power to awaken people, something changed. It was like iron meeting fire. Patel's strength and Gandhi's light combined to create a force India had never seen. From that day, Vallabhbhai became Sardar. Sardar Patel in India's freedom struggle. The meeting with Gandhi was not just an incident. It was a fire. A fire that turned Patel from a successful lawyer into a fearless leader of the masses. The Kheda struggle, 1918. The farmers of Kheda, Gujarat, were in pain. A terrible famine had struck the land. Fields were dry. Crops had failed. There was no food, no money. Yet, the British government demanded full taxes. Pay, or lose your land. It was cruelty. It was injustice. Patel could not stay silent. He joined Gandhi and took the lead in organizing the farmers. They went from village to village, hut to hut. They told the farmers, "Do not pay. Stand united. Fear not." The farmers, who once bowed their heads in helplessness, now lifted them with courage. Months passed. The government tried pressure, threats, and even seizures of land. But the unity of Kheda stood like a wall. Finally, the British surrendered. They suspended the taxes. It was a victory. Not of guns, not of swords, but of unity, discipline, and courage. From this day, people began calling Patel Sardar, the leader. The Bardoli Satyagraha, 1928. 10 years later came Bardoli. Once again, farmers were crushed with heavy taxes. Once again, the British thought peasants were weak. But they had forgotten one thing. Now the farmers had Sardar Patel. He told them, "No violence. No anger. Only strength. Stand like a mountain." Stand together. The peasants obeyed. The women of Bardoli became lionesses, refusing to give food or water to British officers. The men stood firm, even when their cattle and land were taken away. The movement shook the empire. The whole nation watched. At last, the government bowed. The tax hike was cancelled. And the name Sardar Patel spread across India like a storm. Mahatma Gandhi himself said, "It was Sardar Patel who saved the farmers, who showed us what true leadership means." Role in the Indian National Congress. After Bardoli, Patel became one of the tallest leaders of the Congress. Whether it was organizing protests, collecting funds, or guiding common people, Patel was always there. He believed in action more than words. He was the iron hand of Gandhi's nonviolence. Where Gandhi gave vision, Patel gave execution. He worked silently but powerfully. And soon, he became known as the organizer of the Indian National Congress. The Quit India Movement, 1942. In 1942, the nation roared with Gandhi's call. Do or die. The Quit India Movement shook the British Raj. Patel stood shoulder to shoulder with Gandhi and Nehru. He was arrested, jailed, and tortured. But the British could not break him. Even behind bars, his presence was like steel. He inspired others to stay strong. Prisons could not chain his spirit. Threats could not silence his voice. By the time he was released, the countdown to India's freedom had begun. The man who once fought court cases was now fighting for the soul of a nation. The lawyer had become a lion. The leader had become the Iron Man. Architect of India's unity. Independence came on August 15, 1947. The tricolor rose high. But the joy of freedom came with a shadow. India was divided. Partition had torn the land into two, India and Pakistan. Blood was flowing in the streets. Millions were homeless. Fear and hatred were everywhere. And above all, there was a bigger challenge. 562 princely states. Small kingdoms. Big kingdoms. Each with its own ruler. Each with its own pride. The British had left them free to choose. Join India, join Pakistan, or remain independent. It was a recipe for disaster. If every king chose independence, India would break into pieces. The dream of one strong nation would die before it was born. Patel steps forward. At this crucial moment, one man stood firm. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. As the first Deputy Prime Minister and Home Minister of India, Patel took charge. He said in clear words, "There will be no fragmented India. Either the princes join us, or India will never find peace." Patel used two weapons: persuasion and firmness. With the help of his secretary, VP Menon, he went to the rulers one by one. He appealed to their hearts. Think of your people. Think of the future. A divided India will be weak. A united India will be strong. Some agreed. Some hesitated. And some defied. The Hyderabad Challenge. The state of Hyderabad was the most powerful princely state. Its ruler, the Nizam, dreamed of staying independent. He was rich, proud, and backed by his private army. Patel tried negotiation. But when the Nizam refused, Patel showed his iron hand. In September 1948, he launched Operation Polo. A swift military action. In just 5 days, Hyderabad surrendered. And it became part of India. Junagadh, a test of will. In Gujarat, the Nawab of Junagadh wanted to join Pakistan. Even though most of his people were Hindus. Patel stood like a rock. He said, "Junagadh will not be allowed to go against the wishes of its people." Through firm diplomacy and public uprising, Junagadh finally acceded to India. The Kashmir question. When Pakistan-backed forces attacked Kashmir in 1947, it was Patel who moved swiftly. Troops were airlifted to save Srinagar. The Maharajas signed the instrument of accession. And Kashmir too became part of India. The miracle of integration. One after another, states joined India. Patel persuaded, negotiated, and when needed, acted with steel. In just a few months, out of 562 states, almost all were united into one nation. It was a political miracle. A feat no one believed possible. Lord Mountbatten, the last viceroy, said, "What took centuries in Europe, Patel achieved in months." Because of this unmatched achievement, Patel was called the Bismarck of India, the unifier of India, and most famously, the Iron Man of India. He turned the dream of unity into reality. Without him, India would not be the India we know today. His work gave the nation its backbone. His leadership gave the nation its map. His courage gave the nation its strength. Philosophy, leadership, and legacy. Sardar Patel was not just a leader of action. He was a leader of thought. A thinker. A man who believed that principles mattered more than praise. Unity above all. Patel believed that unity was the foundation of strength. He often said, "Manpower without unity is powerless." For him, India's freedom was only meaningful if the country stayed together. Discipline and hard work. Patel lived a life of discipline, simplicity, and dedication. He would wake up early, work tirelessly, meet people, solve problems, plan strategies. He believed success was earned through action, not words. Fearlessness. He never bowed to threats. He never allowed fear to cloud his judgment. Whether it was facing British officials or stubborn princes, Patel was firm. His courage inspired thousands. Service above self. For Patel, personal comfort was secondary. He left wealth, fame, and luxury for the cause of his nation. He taught by example, serve your country, serve your people, and wealth or power will follow naturally. Simplicity and honesty. Even as a national leader, he remained simple. No grand palaces, no flashy clothes. He believed a true leader did not need show, only truth. Major achievements. Deputy Prime Minister and Home Minister of India. Patel's leadership in the early years of independent India stabilized the country. He organized civil services, managed administration, and maintained law and order. Integration of 562 princely states. Patel united India politically. Through diplomacy and strength, he avoided large-scale bloodshed. This was his greatest achievement, the backbone of a united India. Kheda and Bardoli Satyagraha. He pioneered nonviolent protest for farmers. These movements inspired millions and demonstrated the power of peaceful resistance. Support to Mahatma Gandhi. Patel was Gandhi's trusted lieutenant. He implemented Gandhi's vision with practicality and precision. Without Patel, many of Gandhi's strategies may have failed. Inspirational short stories. The Farmer's Champion. During Bardoli Satyagraha, Patel walked miles under scorching sun to meet farmers. He slept under trees, shared their food, and motivated them tirelessly. One old farmer said, "If Sardar says it, it will happen. We trust him like our son." The Iron Decision. When Junagad's Nawab tried to join Pakistan, Patel acted decisively. He used both diplomacy and firmness, ensuring no bloodshed. He showed that courage and wisdom together can solve even the toughest problems. Silent leadership. Patel rarely gave long speeches. Yet, his actions spoke louder than words. He believed, words may inspire, but action achieves? What great men said about him. Mahatma Gandhi. He is my right hand, the pillar of our struggle. Lord Mountbatten. What took centuries in Europe, Patel achieved in months. Jawaharlal Nehru. Patel's courage and patience made the integration of India possible. Sardar Patel's work shaped modern India. His vision ensured a united, strong, and independent nation, a stable civil administration, a legacy of discipline, honesty, and service. Even today, young leaders and citizens draw inspiration from his life. Schools, roads, statues, and awards commemorate him. But the true tribute is in the unity and integrity of India itself. He showed the world that one man, with courage, discipline, and vision, can change a nation's destiny. Life conclusion. He walked quietly. He spoke softly. But when he acted, the earth seemed to shake. He was not loud, not flamboyant. Yet, his presence filled every heart with courage. He was Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, the Iron Man of India. He gave up comfort. He gave up fame. He gave up personal happiness. All for one cause, India. When the nation needed him, he stood like a mountain. When the weak and frightened cried for justice, he became their shield. When danger loomed, he became the sword. Even in loss, he found strength. Even in struggle, he found purpose. Lessons from Sardar Patel. Courage is stronger than fear. Unity is the foundation of strength. Action speaks louder than words. Discipline, honesty, and service are the marks of true leadership. He showed us that leadership is not in grand speeches, but in quiet resolve and relentless action. He showed that one man, with determination, can unite a fragmented land. He showed that truth, courage, and service are more powerful than weapons. He searched in villages. He searched in towns. He searched in forests. He searched in cities. Every heart, every soul, he touched with courage. He walked through storms. He walked through fire. Yet his feet never faltered. His spirit never wavered. He was iron, yet compassionate. He was silent, yet loud in action. He was simple, yet mighty beyond measure. Today, when India stands united, strong, and proud, we remember Sardar Patel. Not just as a politician. Not just as a lawyer. But as the man who dreamed of one India, and made it real. He whispers to every generation. Stand firm. Serve your nation. Unite your people. Fear none. Act always. And this is the greatest lesson of all. A lesson that will never fade. A lesson that will guide every heart that longs to serve. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel's life is a story of courage, unity, and unwavering commitment. A story that inspires. A story that teaches. A story that lives forever in the heart of India. The Statue of Unity in Gujarat is the world's tallest statue, built in honor of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. 182 meter. Yes, it is world tallest, but not taller than his character. This was the life story of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, the Iron Man of India. His strength, unity, and vision made India stronger. We hope you enjoyed this biography on the legends in English. Keep watching for more stories, and improve your English learning and listening practice with us.